1. Eric was nervous as he walked through the park towards campus. The exam was worth 60% of the final mark, and he had not been doing well. He needed to ace it. He hadn't slept well either, so he set out early. But he couldn't help but notice that he seemed to be alone. Where was everybody? The other students? There was just no one. I must be really early, he told himself. And then he had a moment of panic. I'm not late, am I? No, he double-checked his phone. He still had 45 minutes. Still. Where was everybody? He was closer to campus now, and it looked, well, deserted. There were a few cars in the back parking lot, but no people in sight. The smokers weren't even hanging out by the back door. Eric was almost running when he reached the building. He half expected to find the door locked, but it opened and he stepped inside to find nothing. He stood in the main hall, and it was completely empty. No people, no background noise, just a big empty silence. Eric thought about calling out, maybe a tentative hello? But something stopped him, something that felt a lot like fear. Eric decided to take the elevator to the second floor, mainly to see if it was working. It was. He stepped inside and waited for the recorded voice to say, "Going up?" But it didn't say, "Going up." Instead it said, "Going down." The lights went out as the doors slammed behind him, and he felt himself grabbed by strong arms with tentacles that began to bite and burn his flesh. Eric's last thoughts were, "I'm going to miss the exam." 2. Trevor carefully approached the ruins of the old campus. Enemy snipers were everywhere. The Civil War had raged for over 3 years, a conflict that had erupted when the leader had forbidden the people to 1. Write with lead pencils, and 2. Put cream in their coffee. Trevor had killed at least 30 rebels. He had never written with a pencil and was strictly a black coffee man. Trevor clutched the AK-47 closer to his chest as he darted towards the building, zigzagging across the rubble before flopping down behind the remains of a brick wall and crawling into the ruins. Trevor was hungry, thirsty, and tired. How long had it been since he'd had a decent sleep? 3 years? Oh, how he wanted to sleep. But he couldn't rest now. There were too many creamers in the area, too many pencil heads. He continued to slither forth on his belly, seeking a position where he could do a little sniping of his own. He smelled the coffee before he saw it, smelled it, and instantly began salivating. How long had it been since he'd had coffee? Real coffee. And this was real coffee. Its rich aroma was leaving him dizzy. And then he saw it. A mug of coffee, sitting atop what was left of a brick wall. It was hot, or at least warm. He could see the steam rising from it. But it had cream in it. The damn coffee had cream in it. Trevor had sworn a sacred oath never to drink coffee with cream, never to write with a lead pencil. He had killed men for his beliefs. many men. But the coffee smelled so good, so damn good, and he hadn't had any for so damn long. He was drooling now. He had to have that coffee. He reached for it, and both the cup and the world exploded. Trevor's body was blown 90 feet. It had been an IED. Oh well, at least he kept his oath. 3. For the past week, Warren had been trying to collect some footage of the blood moon to upload on his YouTube channel. Alas, it either snowed or it was completely overcast. Sometimes there was even ice fog. If the moon was up there, it couldn't be seen. Damn it all! There was even supposed to be an eclipse that would make the moon turn red. It would have been great footage. But finally, on the night of the full moon, the blood moon appeared at 3 a.m. Dr. Curious was fast asleep, so Warren determined to grab some footage on his own. Sadly, by the time he stumbled into the field behind the shadow Curious, it had clouded over. Worse yet, it had actually begun to rain. Damn it all, Warren muttered as he wiped his face with a hand. A hand that came away all bloody. Bloody blood. It was raining blood. He was covered in it. Warren heard a thunderous, raucous cry, and looking up saw the blood-red moon through a gap in the clouds. But that's not all he saw. A huge bird was descending towards him, something too big to be a shithawk, a seagull, or even a Canada goose. And as it got closer, he saw something that looked like a dragon, or a pterodactyl, or even that giant claw from that old horror movie. But whatever it was, it looked mean. And it was coming for him. Warren could see its sharp, bloody claws, but when he finally started to run, he realized he was just too bloody late. His final thought was straight out of Lovecraft. "You fool! Warren is dead." Coda. As I lay me down to sleep, something hairy, it did creep o'er the blankets, then to leap upon my head. Ouch! Meow. Darn cat. If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. So again, please consider subscribing. Please consider subscribing. Please help me to reach my goal of 2,500 subs. Till midnight. Cheers. Pictures used in today's video courtesy of Pix here. That's PX here. While the music was The Dreadful, The Dread by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod.